from the action. No. So he participates in the action pool tour as well.
It seemed like that. Oh.
This is Chip Klein, Molly's Billiards, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. We have a match here with Pat Carosi versus Dan Madden. And Dan Madden, we just saw the last match, played pretty good match. As Pat Carosi won his first match 9-1 against Rick Barkley. And it appears as though we might have a pretty good match here. I hear this guy plays an action pool tour as well. We have a dry break. It looks like Dan does not have a shot on the one. Pat Carosi from Arlington, Virginia, I believe. Dan has pushed out to a shot. It appears though this ball can't be cut because of the 4 ball. Hard to really see the angle. You can't cut it to the corner because of the scratch, and looks like he may have been trying to get the cue ball up behind the 2 ball there. I'm not sure. Dan has a cut in the side. He'll go down just passing the 6 ball. Probably use a little inside English on this, or may even come natural past the 1 or past the 5 ball for position on the 2. He opted to hook it out. Looks like Dan might be open on the 1 ball. If not, he could use a slight jump shot to get past it. Looks like he's going level at it. Must be very tight on the 5 ball. And he made it. We can tangent line down toward the 3, or he can go forward off the side rail. He left himself a little longer on that shot, I think, than what he wanted. And that's on the 2 ball. He had an option there to go tangent line toward the 3, and that gets you closer to your object ball. Of course, the closer you are, the less likely you are to miss most of the time. And he put high or center ball right on that, I believe, to get down on the 4, and speed was pretty much perfect on that. Now what he could do, he can draw back for the 5, or he could just stop it there and then send his cue ball 3 rails around for the 6 ball, which is down in, again, what I call the red zone, because it's a tricky ball sometimes to get on. He opted for going high inside. See there, had he gone another roll, it would have been tricky for him to play this ball on the side. He would have to take it to the corner. So those are the things when you're playing position, you definitely want to look at that. And we have a masseuse in the place today. Looks like he's considering the combination on the 9 if he goes forward and down. He opted for the combination. It would have been very hard for him to get on the other side of the without coming all the way back up table, so see how he does with this. Butch Weimer from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, one of the best combination players I've ever seen. Doesn't matter where it is, he could play the combination and make it. Nice shot. And Pat Carosi goes up 1-0. Score 1-0. Pat Carosi versus Dan Madden, Pennsylvania 9-ball tour. And this is winner's bracket. And I believe this is Dan Madden's third match, I believe. Maybe second match, I believe, for Dan. Yeah. He'll cut around, come 1, 2, and well, he got to the 3rd rail, but he didn't want to. 20 years ago. We have Joe Weimer here, great player from Latrobe, playing really good pool recently. And he said I would have gotten perfect on that ball, and maybe 20 years ago. Dan made that look a lot easier than it was when he got out of line on the 3. It was a nice shot on the 3. The score is 1-1. It's nice to see Dan Madden playing some good pool. once again, Pat Carosi won his first round 9-1, and the gentleman that he played said that he played really strong. He entered the tournament as amateur status. What's that say? No. Carosi looks like if he gets good on the 5 ball here, he'll be able to get down on the 6. And there are players at home, much better for you to get a little closer on the 5 ball. It makes it get in position on the 6 easier. So he's got to stroke this ball to get down on the 6. He might be a little straight in on the 6 ball here, but the 7 is hanging, so it gives him a lot of options. Now, so had he been on the high side of the 7, or looking at your screen with a low side, then he would have been able to drift nicely for the 8. Now he might have to go around the table to get on the 8, and he did. Up and down, and there came up short. Unfortunate, had he got on this side of the 7, he would have been out for sure. Now he's got to come up with a thin cut in the side, or try to go past the 9, or try to play the 9 combination. So he's got 3 options here, and he made a nice attempt at the cut in the side, overcut.
It's one of them situations where you got to think, what would Chip want to do?
Dan tried to play the combination and did not work out for him. This guy appears though he has a thin cut in the corner pocket. May have a very thin cut in the corner pocket. Looks like it passes the 9 here, but his cue ball is going to roll, so he's got to be careful of the scratch. Make sure he doesn't come forward, goes around and scratch in the same pocket. Looks like he is cutting it. And this is a hard shot. He might consider a safety here. Maybe send the 8-ball up to the other end of the table and try to get his cue ball behind the 9. This could be just above center stun shot where the 8-ball goes up table and the cue ball. Well, he left him long. His other option there would have been to go just above center, cut the 8 a little to the left, and drift through the 8-ball and get behind the 9. Of course, Dan is seeing a long hard shot. And he made it look easy, and he is on the 9. Nice shot by Dan Madden. Dan Madden to break. This is game number 4.
Yeah. Joey, and yeah.
And Carosi left with a long shot shooting out of the rail or out of the pocket, whole length of the table. And if he has a slight angle, he could go 2 rails and out for the 2-ball. Or he could elevate and try to send this back. And again, his other option would be cross the 1-ball and play the safe. Where if he crosses the 1-ball, his 1-ball would go to the right hand cushion down below the 8-ball, and this cue ball would go back down behind the 9 toward the 6-ball. And he opted to try to stun it out. And Dan, looks like Dan might be able to see half of the 1-ball. I don't think he can cut it in. So you'll see he'll...
You and Curtis on 7.
Looks like he's going to jump at this, take to the air. And some people don't like legalizing jump cues. I think it's great. Every time my opponent accidentally hooks me, I want a jump cue to get out of it. And just because you use a jump cue and you get over a ball doesn't mean it's easy to pocket the ball, as we just seen there. Easily got over the ball, but it's one thing entirely to get over a ball and then pocket a ball. Jumping it. It's a great skill. Really, a jump shot many times is much the same as elevating when you're jacked up over a ball. And that's a great shot if you can execute it. And jump shot is a great shot as well as if you can execute it. One of my friends who doesn't like jump cues said, well, I don't believe in jump cues. You should have to jump. And I said, well, I don't believe in chalk. So, and at one time when chalk was first used, there were players that thought using chalk was cheating. And it's the progression of the game. Nick Varner has been using the jump cue for 30 years. And you play a player that really knows how to use a jump cue, you better be good at your saves. And that's why I like the use of a jump cue. I don't want a player just to play a safe that anybody could play. I want him to lock me up behind a ball, in which case the jump cue can't be used anyhow. So if you don't like jump cues, just play better safes. That's my opinion, people. Of course, I always have one of those. He's going to come back, and he will come 3 rails around for the 8 ball in the corner pocket. This is a low left English shot. And he'll use the left spin to help get him around the table rather than speed a stroke. See how much left the left kicks in and helps get him around the table. And he went a little too low on that. And what happened there, I believe, when he went with left English, the left English threw him thick into the 7 ball, which caused him to come up a little short on that ball. And that, by the way, that can be, if you have trouble hitting a ball a little thick when you're using outside English, that can be eliminated simply by shortening your bridge. And that will keep your cue ball from deflecting into the object ball. That's if you're using backhand spin on the cue ball. Backhand English, what they call it. And that's a very nice cut shot. Pat Carosi keeping up with Dan Madden here early in the set. Good. Score is 2-2. Pennsylvania 9-ball tour. Someone asked me why I didn't play, and they said, "Are you afraid to play?" And I said, "No, I'm afraid to lose." Anybody can play. It's the losing part that's hard. There he sent his cue ball over to the left rail and then out to the center. It's not a bad break if you pocket a ball. Your cue ball stays right in the center. Dan has standard position here. He'll pocket though 1 ball, go a little high right English and come right around for the 2. And he
Did you? Well, I just ran off 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Very good player, Bobby Kime, just walked in the room. Just had a newborn baby. I believe his name is Hunter. Looks like Carosi may be hooked here. I'm not sure if I can. Looks like he is hooked. He can hit the left side of the 2 ball, and he's going to try to stick the guy, stick Dan on the 9 ball. Go to the bottom rail just outside the corner pocket, just like that, and he hit it a little bit too thick. Now Dan actually has a great opportunity here. He can draw the cue ball right back into the 9 ball and send the 2 ball up table. 2 ball 2 rail back to where he stands and then come back up again. He opted to go for the run out. I liked the 9 ball on that previous shot because it was a player of his caliber certainly has the ability. Well, maybe that's better too. So lined up nicely. Dan Madden goes to 3. Nice shot, nice carom on the 9 ball, and he made the 3 just in case he missed the 9 ball, or he made the 3 ball and was playing the 9. By the way, some people, when somebody rides a 9 ball, they try to make you feel bad about it. It's part of the game and has been forever. And a good player knows when to take a good opportunity to ride the 9 ball. And it takes a lot of years to know when to go for it and when not to go for it. So if you feel like the 9 ball's the right shot, don't ever feel bad about it. Looks like he's achieved a nice angle to draw backwards for the 3, or he could even go forward 2 rails and out for the 3. He's going to draw it. Nice controlled speed. Very good speed there. This is a low left English shot to pull the cue ball back and then come up. The left English keeps you from getting below that 4 ball. This shot is just a high ball here and gently roll it in and have a nice angle on the 5. And he opted to go to the other side of the table. That's okay too. His tangent line takes him right into the 9 here, so he could go center ball hit and run into the 9, or just kind of float it for position on the 6. And there's the tangent line into the 9. Nicely done. Here he'll go center ball right English. Will pull him off the bottom rail and over toward the right hand side. He wants to be sure he doesn't get straight in on the 7 ball, because if he does, it makes it much harder to get on the 8. So he'll come in on a line, and he wants off this rail. Very nicely done. Yeah, this guy got in as an amateur, but he's playing some terrific patterns. looked like the pocket didn't take it, but he really cut that ball into the side cushion. You could see why it came off like that and hit the outside of the pocket. And now Dan is faced with a very long shot. And even if he makes it, his cue ball wants to go to the end rail, and he's going to have a hard shot on the 8. So he's really, well, he really got lucky. Mishit it and kissed it in. Again, that happens, and you don't feel bad about it if it happens. Your opponent, it's going to happen for him too. Like I said earlier in a previous match, when we luck a ball in, we have a tendency to think that we don't have the right to that game, and you know, your opponent is going to take the game if he can, so you may as well take the game if you can, and don't give it a second thought. It happens. It's always going to happen, always has happened. So every sport has luck in it, and pool is no exception. I make myself sick. That's what I do at home. Who won that game? Who won that last game? And Pat Carosi goes up to 3, and so we got a 3-3 race here. And Pat Carosi and Dan Madden here at the Pennsylvania 9-ball tour. It's Chip Klein. We have a tied up race here. Looks like Dan has a Dan Madden has a thin cut shot on the 1. I'm not sure, I believe he was slightly elevated. The 3 ball is in a bad position, but he may play the 2 off of the 3. To bust the 3 away from the rail there. He would softly brush the 3 as the 2 goes into the pocket. He doesn't want to hit it the 3 too hard, or the 8 ball will block the 3 ball. See, pocketing the 3 is no, or the 2 is no problem, but the 3 ball is a problem, and he knows that, and that's why he's studying this. I really like the way this guy studies the table. You can tell he's got a lot of experience. And Jordan Scanlon from Wimbert, Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, very close, is up 6-0 in his match, and he has not lost a game yet in the tournament. Not a match, not a game. He's up 16 games in a row. So he's not playing too shabby over there. He is 18 years old, and he is a great player from this area. And I believe we'll probably be seeing him on the TV table soon, so you get a chance to check his game out. And he drifted too far here. But he's got a hard cut shot on the 5. But good news, if he makes the ball, the position is kind of natural to get over in the 6 and play the 6 in the right-hand cornered pocket right here. So cue ball will go to the right rail and then back to the left rail, and he'll have a shot either the 6 in the side or the corner pocket. And it could be either corner pocket. And there's the position on the 6 ball that I talked about, and looks like he got a little lucky. And by the way, even that shot that he played, sometimes a player will play at the proper speed, knowing that 7 ball is there, knowing that there's a possibility that he's going to miss the shot and leave the guy rough. And only very, very advanced players know that. It's about percentages, playing the proper percentages, and what's my best chance of making the ball, maybe getting a little lucky, hooking the guy if I do miss. Very, very important to view the game like that. I believe, anyhow, that's how I play. Is that any better? Better. Nice kick shot on the 5 ball there. I looked away for a second and he made it. So this is 2 rails and out for the 7. He can play the 7 to the corner, or he can come the whole way around and play it into the side. And he did not hit that one well. This is just a low draw stroke. Come back for the 7 a little bit, and now it's another natural low draw stroke for the 8 ball in the corner. And here, make sure you don't pass the 8 ball. You want to stay on the right side of the 8 ball, because there, if he went too far, then he would have had to go on the other side of the 9. score is 4 games to Madden's 3. How are you? I thought about you the other day. Dan Madden's at the table. And the side rail out nice. Maintained his angle for the 3 ball. This is a low right English stroke to pull it back. And now he's probably going to go into the 9 ball here, so he's got to play off the 9 to get back up table for the 5. Just like that. And he has a thin cut shot. Might have to play the carom on the 7 if the 6 ball doesn't go. So if he decides to play the carom on the 7 off the 6 ball, then his position of the cue ball has to be very, very good to make the carom easy and control the 6 ball. It looks like he got a pretty good line there. It looks like it passes. Looks like he's cutting it in. Yeah, it passed. So all of that was for nothing, that commentary right there. So just down and up, a little bit of inside to get off the scratch line. Lots of times you'll play a shot and the natural path of the cue ball will be a scratch, so just putting like half a tip of inside or outside can get you off of that scratch line, and that's what he did on that 7 ball. And we have a 4-4 race here. These really make you feel very important. Feel very important.
I am important. I don't need to feel important.
Well, some of us aren't important and you need to feel it. Hey, if you see a tear in my pants back here, let me know, because there's a tear in my pants. That just went all usually. 11 on a pool table earlier. Long, hard shot. He'll aim to hit the rail just before the object ball. Just like that. Very nicely done. Nice position on 2. And he will either go forward with high left or he could probably draw this back with low left English. And the left is just so when the cue ball hits just above the 3, it pulls him away from the 3 ball to make sure that he's not right up on top of the 3. And he will try to maintain an angle on the 3 so he can get over for the 4, which is right below the side pocket. And there's the angle on the 3, very nicely executed. So here he'll try to get on the line that's kind of close to the 5 so that he can hold the cue ball for the 5 in the corner. I guess the 4 ball isn't as far past the side pocket as I thought. On a monitor it doesn't even look like the 4 ball goes in the side, but when I looked at the table it definitely goes in the side pocket. Here he will drift forward, probably take the cut on the 5 back down in the corner, or he'll go, looks like a low left, and he's going to stun this out. Nah, that shot was difficult, what he attempted there. He didn't have quite didn't have quite the angle on the 4 to do that, what he wanted to do there.
Once Dan turned the mic volume up, that's as high as it'll go. So if you could talk just a little bit louder.
I'm gonna shark him.
I can barely hear you. I'm sitting right beside you.
Okay. I'll try to remember. Just my natural tendency is to try to keep my voice low when there's players playing. I don't want to give people ideas of what patterns to play or what shots to take, or their opponent's gonna come over here and beat me up. Or if they blow the shot, maybe the opponent will pay me. And here, this is low left English, pull it back for the 7. Nice shot, almost straight in. This is a nice little shot. He can bounce off the rail, make sure, you can see the player checking his line, making sure that he stays on a certain side of the 8 ball to make it easy to get on the 9. That's very, very important. Now probably down to the end rail and back out. Go to the end rail, use a little bit of right, that keeps you off of the side cushion so that you're not shooting off the rail on the 9. A little bit of right, just like that. Nicely done, the scat play's good. Score is 5-4. Pat Carosi, Arlington, Virginia. Playing very well here at Molly's Billiards, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I keep jumping. You get trained in the pool room over years to keep your voice down, so you don't bother people, and I keep going back to that. So Carosi is going to take to the air, make a jump shot here. And he should have, I don't know if he'll have position on the 3, but he should be back up table maybe if he doesn't go into the 9, providing he makes the shot. He made a nice attempt at it and stuck the guy in the hole. Not only is Dan shooting the length of the table out of the pocket, he really doesn't have an offensive shot. Maybe he could try to bank the 2 and send a cue ball down table and leave the 2 on the bottom rail in the event that he misses it. So speed is critical on this shot. And he did bank at it, and he left the cue ball down table. And he got a little reward. He's jacked the guy up over the 4 ball. Now if he pockets this ball, position on a 3 ball will be automatic. So again, speed control ensures that he has a shot on the 3 if he were to happen to make this very long, difficult, jacked up shot. Nobody wants to shoot this ball. Many players would play safe here. It's just such a low percentage shot. Many players would cross the 2 and play the safe. And we'll be able to tell how close he comes to the pocket. Rather, yeah, he was shooting at it. He didn't duck there. He played the shot. And Dan can control this low left spin. Again, the left spin hits the side rail, pulls him away from the 3 to make sure he's not stacked on the 3, or not stuck on the 3, I should say. Now he's rushing. That's a sign of fatigue in a player when they start rushing. So we'll have to see if he had a he missed it good, and now Pat Carosi comes to the table. Has to go 2 rail kick, and he will try to put the 3 down in that group of balls down there where he's shooting at now, and just didn't quite get there. But you can see had he hit that a little harder, the cue ball would have been on the right, the 3 ball would have been on the left, and he would have gotten between those balls. So remember, when you kick, making a kick shot, lots of times the speed is very, very important when you're kicking at balls. And high right English. They'll come right above the 6 ball. And he should walk down there and look at the 7 to make sure he gets the angle that he wants. The 8-9 may be in line. He might be playing the combination here, but there's really no reason to. Yeah, he came up a little higher than I think he wanted to. Came up a little higher than I think he wanted to there. very sensitive shot. Make sure he doesn't stick the 9 on the bottom rail. And he was worried about that, and that's what happened. Nice shot there by Dan. The big game there, and Pat Carosi, a little unorthodox there from what we've seen so far. That miss on the 8 ball. No. And Carosi makes a break and appears as though he has pocketed some balls. 2 balls down on the break. Tricky cut shot on the 1. Here he has an option. He could, if he cuts a ball to on the screen, the bottom right hand corner, his cue ball is going down toward the 9, so he could be hooked on the 9 or even the 4 or 5. So the better shot is actually cut the 1 ball to the bottom left hand corner, and that you can see the cue ball goes 2 rails and out, and there's nothing to hook him, so he'll be guaranteed a shot on the 3 ball if he cuts it to the bottom left corner, and it looks like that's what he's doing. No, he played the safety. He decided to duck. Line 1. Is that then will come 3 rails around for position. Easy ball to miss. It looks as though he may have gotten a little lucky. Looks like he can't cut the 3 ball into the corner. Jim. His name's Jim. So sorry, I hope you didn't see him. Dan comes up with a good jump shot, gets over the ball. Not easy. Jump shots are not easy. Anyone who tells me how easy it is with a jump cue, I set up some shots, say let's see how many you make out of 10. Not an easy shot. Yeah, it's easy getting over a ball. It's not easy hitting the ball where you want. This again is a low left English shot. Low left English shot to get on the 5. He would like to try to stay on the left side of the 5 so that he can play the 7 to either corner. If he gets just a slight angle on a 5 or straight on a 5, he can draw back and play the 7 in the same corner as the 5. Critical shot. If he gets on the right side of 5, he can go 2 rails and up for the 7. But there you have a situation, I guess, your cue ball's widening out and you're coming away from your 7 ball, and just a slight overhit and you're shooting a full length of the table. So that's why that's why I like to play the shot a little bit differently than that. Play the 5 to the corner and draw back on the 7 to the 7. So we'll see how he does here. And
tried to really just relax my wrist too much. Really sorry about the lead.
And Carosi, being a gentleman of the game, telling Dan Madden that he's sorry about the leave. And Pat Carosi saying he doesn't deserve to win because of that roll, but you know that's simply not true. Everybody gets rolls. There is no deserves really in the game. Either you get up there, you run out, play good pool and win. Occasionally you get a little lucky. Dan tried to clear the 9 ball, but he got a little kiss and actually helped him a little bit. So even though Carosi had gotten a rather good roll there, he ran into the 9 and got a good roll back, and that happens over and over again in the game. Best not to even think about the rolls. And it appears though we got a 5-5 match, unless I missed one. believe Dan Madden is up 6 games to 5 against Pat Carosi. Oh, he hit it pretty good. And he was on the 2. This shot is a shot I call the circle of life, where you actually go rail first to the long rail, and then with extreme left English, then you hit the ball, then it goes to the end rail and zips right on the table, and it'll come bring you out right at the side pocket, right above the side pocket for the 2. Not a bad shot there, but you can hit that one ball too thick and end up going into the 7 or killing your cue ball. If you go rail first on that one when it's hanging like that, it'll go 3 rails around and bring it. He hit that shot very well, by the way. He hit that shot a lot better than I would have. Looks like he might be playing the combination or some kind of safe. It's hard to tell. If he's going to play the safe, I think he would cross over the 3, bring a 3 up table, and then send the cue ball down behind the 9, 6, 5. So, no, he played the combo. Now he's going to stick the 3 on the back of the 6. Barely hit it. And that was nice touch by Carosi. When you're looking for a 2-rail kick here, you want to kick the direction that's most likely to let the cue ball behind those balls and send the object ball up to the other end of the table. So in this situation, he'll hit the 3 ball, expecting the cue ball will go into the 6, then hold the cue ball there. Easier said than done, of course. If he happens to catch the 3 ball thin, it could go to the side cushion, and the cue ball could end up behind the 6-9. There goes the and not bad. I believe Pat Carosi could see the right side of the 3 ball. If that's the case, he'll send the 3 ball to the end rail and send the cue ball 2 rails up behind the 4 ball. Wasn't bad, but he did leave an alley there. Dan can play a return safe, get behind the 9-4, or this is just as good. Either way, he had 2 balls there to block him for the safe. Whether you chose the I believe that's the 6-5. But he left a long hard shot off of the rail. So again, leave your opponent distance. If you can't get behind balls, get separation and get distance. And that's the reward for the distance right there. And now Dan has a terrific opportunity here to go out ahead with a 2-game lead. So, yeah, 3 rails around toward the 5. Well, he went 3 rails and banked it instead of the cut, which is, I guess if it was on and he liked it, isn't a bad shot. No, he's overcutting. He's pushing. Sometimes we have a tendency to push and steer our stroke, and that was definitely a sign of fatigue there. And now we're going to go to 6-6, it appears. How'd you do? Yeah.
Too soon to start aging and medically analyzed by the government. How'd you do?
Yeah, you right. I was like 4, and then the guy was just like
Forfeited.
Who were you playing?
And I guess they were bored.
Not much to do around here, Jane.
Yeah, we're in Johnstown. What the hell are you doing?
More to do with Johnstown than there is about dinner.
I'm not from either one. Yeah, man. There was a winter house.
And it is 6-6 here, Pat Carosi versus Dan Madden. And looks like we have a match. Race to 3 now here in the winners bracket.
It's just the whole chart. How many players you got? You're definitely important. Definitely. They weren't going to put you up there. I said, this guy's a monster, so they put you up there.
give me a second chance, I might not be so nervous as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you play better?
I did play a lot better. I got out like 5, 6 ball outs. Like I did what I was supposed to be doing. Like I said, being like TV tech, you know, this is
Oh, yeah. I don't blame you.
You screw up the whole world.
Yeah. Well, it's tough, I'll tell you.
What'd you do? Is this important? Is that important?
Oh, you can hit Rex. Sorry,
Did you call me darling?
I did.
Pat Carosi has a 2-ball to the 3. And a 3-ball. 3-ball to the 5 and a 5 to the 6 is the key to this rack, I believe. Jacked up over the 8-ball, not an easy shot. Nicely done. Now here's where he's got to get over on the 5, but he doesn't want to be straight in on the 5 so he can get to the 6 ball. So getting over there on a 5 isn't the issue, because he does have an angle, but he easily could get straight in on the 5, and then that makes the 6 much more difficult. And he has a nice angle. Nicely done. Now here he'll get on the 7, but he wants to give himself an angle so that he can get short on the 8 ball. What that'll do is allow him to get back down on the 9. If he gets too long on the 8, then it's very difficult to get on the 9. So right now that's what he should be thinking: get short on the 8, make it easy to get on the 9. And he got close to the 8, that's for sure. Now you can go for the bank shot, or you can just play the safe and try to get your cue ball down behind the 9. Here, to help you play better safes, use a mirror image. Like if you want the 8 ball to end up on this bottom rail in the middle, then you'd use a mirror image and off the table, and that tells you where to hit the 8 ball to, just like that. And of course, he has to control the cue ball. And this is Chip Klein. I'm the not so legendary house pro, Molly's Billiards. And he's going to come into the 9. And little lucky he didn't go too far there. Probably a better way would have been above the side pocket so he doesn't get below the 9. But he got out, and that's what's important there. I gotta change the score when you get a chance. So Dan Madden will be breaking, and he's up 1 game. Dan Madden leads 7-6 against Carosi, Pat Carosi. Dan. Dan will use a little left spin here to bring him out to the middle of the table for the 4. He didn't feel like drifting that in, I guess. So again, that's Here he'll go, I think he has to go rail first. And the 9 ball could come into play here, so he's got to be careful. There's the 9, and you got to worry about the scratch off the back of that 9. But he got away with it. Here he'll play the 5 ball. The side is tricky. Corner, he could get behind the 9 if he's not careful. Nice shot. Nice shot. Might come to the end rail. No, he didn't have an angle on. I'm sorry. Down and up. Came off at a not so good angle coming up off the 8 ball. A little bit of right English would have kept him more to the center of the table, but he can handle this easily. Nice out. And it's 7-7. This is quite a match we have here.
Just rub on you.
Oh. Pat Carosi to break 7-7 against Dan Madden. A good match here we have. Anybody's ball game now. 2-2. Race to 2. Lost his cue ball behind the rack, and looks like Dan will be forced to either jump or push out. So look for a spot that you don't mind the shot that your opponent might mind, and maybe he'll pass it back to you, and then you control the table like that. You don't want your push out to be too difficult, or your opponent simply gives it back to you, and then you're faced with a difficult shot anyhow. Dan pushed to a jump shot, and I'm not betting on him here, but he's what a shot, Dan Madden. I'd have lost my money on that one. Terrific shot, Dan Madden. This is why, folks, this guy gets down, he gets tired, and he doesn't give up easily. And I jinxed him when I when I said it. It seems like that. The 6-7 is stacked, so he'll have to contend with that later on in the rack. And if he gets straight in on the 4, he might be able to get over there behind the 6. Brush the 7 and clear the pocket for the 6. Not a bad shot. I was going to take a toothpick in front of the camera. Well, he overdid that one. He overdid that stroke. I believe he was trying to circle around to maybe go 3 rails and play the 5 in the left-hand side. But I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Sometimes, you know, players see things differently, and so it's hard to say what he was going to do there. Looks like he wants to try to stop this, elevate a little bit, stop it, and play the 6 in the corner. Here, all your emphasis goes on pocketing the ball. Because it is a hard shot for anybody. I believe I saw one time that shot was, Johnny Archer said that was about a 50%er for him. One of the greatest players to ever pick up a cue says that shot's about a 50%er for him. So now I don't feel bad when I miss it. Here he's got a little too much angle, so he'll go to the left rail and then come back out for the 7. He'll come toward the center of the table. Nicely done. He's close on the 7, which makes the draw much easier to get up on the 8. Here he can spin this. He can go 3 rails deep with a bunch of left spin, or he can just go high. Well, I'm not sure why he played it like that, but and it appears Pat Carosi goes up. Eight to 7. Pat Carosi up 8-7 against Dan Madden. Molly's Billiards, Johnstown, Pennsylvania 9-ball tour. Hey. I look much older in this.
You bring your own machine with you too.
Huh?
Did you bring your own machine with you?
No, this is Dan's.
That's nice.
That's right. They told me 40,000 a year, and all I can eat. So I figured, what the heck?
Say it again.
Tell him. you know Matt's, don't you? I have beef brisket for you. I have beef brisket for you up at my house.
Where's that?
Up at my house.
In your house, yeah, not here.
No.
That's good though. You never did bring any up. I pay him.
I did twice. Twice. Okay, we're here. Pat Carosi trying to close out the set. He's on the hill against Stan Madden, and he's kicking at the 1 ball. Well, there it goes. Kick shot on the 9. Bad way to lose, but I believe he was just playing the safe. May have been playing the shot. If he was, great shot.
Pat, were you playing to kick the 9? Oh, that's a great shot.